And hello. Oh, hi. And yeah, welcome to the Sonic block, I guess. A lot of Sonic action coming. Can't have a good marathon without a Sonic block. But yeah, anyway, hi, I'm Black Doom. And this is Tails, and he's stuck in a void. But we'll get him unstuck. Yeah, this is Sonic Rivals 2. So it's a pretty interesting game. Chances are you've probably never heard of this, or like heard but never played, and that's totally fair because it's a PSP exclusive title, and it's a very interesting game. It's kind of like a mix between like a regular Sonic platformer, with rings and robots and all that good stuff, and then this is also 1 versus 1 foot racing game. But we're not going to be doing that today. So this game has this mode called Free Play mode, where we are allowed to play the stages at our own pace, just explore them freely. But an interesting thing is that they also put 10 Chao in each stage. And the goal of this run is to collect all 10 Chao in each of the 12 stages, so 120 Chao in total. So without further ado, I'm gonna be counting down. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So the very interesting thing about this run is that we're actually allowed to choose characters individually for each of the stages. And we're gonna be using Sonic and Tails mostly. And the reason we're gonna be using them is because each character in this game has something called the signature move, and the signature move can be performed like this. Like, this is Sonic's signature move. It's called Sonic Boom. The signature move can be performed when the bar in the top right corner of the screen is healed, and we can heal the bar by collecting rings, destroying enemies, dealing damage to our opponent, but we don't have one here, etc., etc. So the reason we're using Sonic and Tails in this run is because Sonic has this signature move that allows him to go super fast, and we can skip, do a little skip here. Normally we're supposed to get inside the barrel here and roll on the tracks, but we're not doing that. That is really slow. And Tails' signature move is flying, and again, these are the only 2 characters that have signature move that alter the vanilla moveset, and that's why they're very useful for this run. But just like that, we're done with stage 1. Sonic wins. So another thing this game has going is these cards. So these cards act as a sort of achievement system. You get cards for all sorts of stuff, including collecting Chao. So after each stage, we're gonna be getting cards like this one. But now we're moving on to Act 3. So we're not going to be doing Act 2 because in this game, Act 2 is reserved for something called Rival Battle. These are kind of 1 versus 1 fights in enclosed arenas, and there are different types of those rival battles. But the point is that those are not racing stages, and we're only doing racing stages. But again, not racing anyone here. That was a little mistimed. Another thing this game has going is pretty much the main speedrun tag. So whenever I hit a boost pan, I will keep spamming kick, because when you go through a speed pad and you perform pretty much any animation, you actually have that speed preserved throughout the entire duration of that animation, and chaining kicks like that. Chaining kicks like that is the most efficient way to preserve your speed. So we can, chain kicks almost as much as we want, as long as nothing is in our way. And we can also kick once after a spin dash. And the reason I actually spin dash there is because these hang gliders, they move with whichever speed you enter them with. So I want to build up a lot of speed before before the hang glider. Yeah, just like that, we're almost done here. The stages are like about 1.5 minutes long here, so yeah. And I think these should be all of the Chao. Yep. And yeah, that's zone 1. So we're gonna be moving on to, what is it called? Yeah, Sunset Forest. Sunset Forest. So another interesting thing about this category is that this is a completely new game plus category. So like you cannot access these stages in free play mode until oh, come on, go down, oh my god. Until you beat them in story mode. And another thing is that it's actually pretty useful because so like you can see how there is like sometimes an arrow on the right side of the screen, like right here. So this arrow is something called Chao Raider, and you can only unlock the Chao Raider by setting a high score in a stage, which again, it's not too much of an ask really. Like you just have to beat the stage in a story mode. But the Chao Raider is actually like really helpful because some of these Chao locations are very, very sneaky, and yeah, it's very useful for the run. Oops. And just like that, this is gonna be the last Chao for this stage. Oh, come on. Right here, and we're gonna do Sonic Boom, and that's it. That is it. Gonna found all of the 10 Chao, and for the next stage, we're actually gonna be switching to Tails. So again, Tails' special move is Flight, and it can be useful in a number of stages where like there are either like huge vertical sections, or where it's just useful to use, helpful to use him as a backup, or like for backups, because some of these Chao can be really tricky to grab, and again, we're like normally you're not expected. Oh, all right, that's a problem. So we're just gonna be flying here. Like the game doesn't expect you to grab all of the Chao in one go, so you know sometimes you know grabbing them all in one go can be tricky, and you know stuff like that. Like I made a mistake, and yeah, things happen. And with Flight, it's really easy to recover. All right, gonna be jumping here. Hopefully, that section can be a little fiddly because like the game is weird and it can push you off and for no reason, and it just happens. Yeah, so this next Chao is another good example of how well hidden they can be. And we're gonna be doing a little flying here to skip, hopefully at least nope. I was hoping to grab onto the wall, but yeah, with Flight we can skip at least 2 or 3 climbing sections a little bit faster than doing them normally. Alright. Yeah, okay, alright, good. So, again, this Chao is another great example of why I'm using Tails here. I think like they expect you to jump on those 2 bat robots, but the jump is just, it's ridiculously tight, like for literally no reason. Yeah, now we're moving on to Neon Palace, and Neon Palace 1 is probably my favorite level in the game speedrun wise. there is just something about this stage that is extremely satisfying when it goes right. Yeah, just like any casino themed stage in the Sonic game, this one has slot machines. Although I'm not entirely sure how these ones work. So, alright, sure. Oh, this might be a restart. So unfortunately, some of these Chao are put in really tight locations, like, and you pretty much have only one chance at grabbing them. And unfortunately, by exiting that slot machine at the bottom, I made it impossible to grab the next Chao. So the only way to grab it is just to, to redo the stage. But it's not a problem. Like this, there we go. This section is only 30 seconds into the stage. It's all good. Oh no! I fell down again. Let me see if I can recover somehow. Nope. Yeah, that one is a problem sometimes.
I'm gonna fly circles around you.
Quite unfortunate, but yeah, the game has like really wonky physics, so like it just threw me in a random direction there. And again, I didn't have my meter field, so I couldn't fly there. Alright, take 3, maybe? There we go. Oh. Yeah, stuff like that can happen. But we're through. The game is just eating my inputs left and right. What is going on?
I did it!
Yeah, like, as I was saying, this stage is really sick, but it's also full of like stuff like that that can just throw you off. Alright, hopefully gonna be skipping these to climb. Oh, I got stuck there. Alright, I will take this section safely. Normally I can just fly over all of this, but I got stuck on a ceiling, and the meter was just draining down, and it was just, the platforms were not in the ideal spots. So we'll just take this safe. I had enough troubles with the stage already. But we have enough meter to perform the flight here and not wait for that platform. That platform is normally on, I believe it's a 4-second cycle or something. So yeah, we just saved like 4 seconds there, but we lost like a minute at the beginning, but we're not talking about that. That happens. Yeah, I believe that should be all of the Chao for this stage. Yep. Alright, more Tails action here. So, we're going from probably one of my favorite stages to one of my least favorite stages. This stage happens just to be very inconsistent for me, and it just doesn't flow very well. Okay, we're gonna go down here. There we go. So this stage has another unique mechanic of bingo. So like you can see a bunch of cubes across the stage, and there is also a bunch of bingo boards in the background. And if you're familiar with a game called Sonic Heroes, you might recognize the textures for like the cubes and the boards and such. And yeah, they just reuse those textures. But unlike in Sonic Heroes, there is a stage called Bingo Highway where like there is a bunch of bingo boards across the stages, and you know, each area sort of has like a bingo tied to that board. Like the bingo board is exactly the same across the entire stage, and it's not really randomized. Like the numbers are not shuffled around. They're just, you know, put like numbers 1 to 9, left to right, top to bottom. And honestly, that is very useful because whenever you get to bingo, you get a bunch of rings, and again, rings heal the meter. So it is, bet it's good to have something predictable here. Like you can pretty much expect like certain, cubes to give you bingo. Yeah, we're very reassuring to have something like that. We just skipped that. Okay, cool. And that should be the last Chao for the stage. And yep.
I really won!
He really won. Good for him. Yeah, we got all of the Chao here. Good for us. And this is Frontier Canyon. Frontier Canyon is a very interesting zone. Again, we're going to be using more tails here. Going to be very useful in a couple of spots. And we're going to be seeing a trick called wall launch here. There we go. When we have a lot of speed and when you're going down a vertical path like that, you're just jump like horizontally instead of dropping down, which can be useful in a few spots. So we're gonna be skipping the did not skip. Come on. Usually I skip that one because it gives you way too much speed. Now we're gonna homing attack. It's not like a homing attack, we're just kicking that snake to get up on the platform. You normally don't have enough height to reach it, but with a kick like that, it can be reached pretty easily. It's a very funny bit of routing I did. We're gonna spam kick here and initiate flight right about here to skip a bit of skip a bit of platforming. And come on, go down. You can probably see like they really try to shove all of the Chao into these stages, because sometimes you can like grab like something like 3-4 Chao back to back in like 10 seconds or something. It's really funny. And yet another tail stage here. So Frontier Canyon 3 is probably the most notorious stage among casual players, because if you play this stage in story mode and like you're racing another opponent, they are ridiculously good at this stage. Okay, hold on. I'm getting caught here by the snake. But yeah, like this stage is where, like, this game does have rubber banding as most racing games do, and this stage is probably where it is most noticeable. Like, it's not that bad in this game, but it's really awful in this stage. So I'm just glad we're on our own here, and this thing right here is the reason why this stage is so scary against a computer opponent, because the computer opponent is really good at mashing, and average human is probably not that good. Yeah, gonna do another wall launch here. Gonna go up here, jump, initiate flight, grab this. Oh, I did not grab the guy. Okay, I grabbed the guy. Yeah, that one can be a little scary, but it's pretty easy to recover. And yeah, just like that, we're almost done here. Just 2 more Chao to go. But before that, a little bit of meshing action here. Like, this game really loves meshing gimmicks like that. You know, we saw a wall climbing section earlier where, like, wall climbing stuff earlier where, like, you're supposed to mesh real fast, and this one was just like that, and we'll be seeing more mashing in the future. But we are done with Frontier Canyon, and we are back to Sonic and we're moving on to what is probably my favorite zone in the game, like aesthetically. I think spooky levels in Sonic games are pretty much always guaranteed to be awesome, and the music in this stage is quite nice too. So just very cool stage. And this stage has, this zone rather, has this mechanic which some of you might remember from Sonic and Knuckles with ghosts and light and like switches. Yeah, they just brought it back and didn't change much. However, the ghosts in this game can be quite janky, which you'll be seeing right here. So that guy, I just walked into him and he disappeared and didn't even hurt me, and yeah, just like that. The hitboxes on these guys are quite interesting. Alright, we're gonna be collecting a bunch of rings here, hopefully. I will need a... Yep, there we go. Sonic Boom will not hurt here. And this section can be a little... was a little tricky to figure out, because there is this like whole lot of wormholes, and you're supposed to, like I'm supposed to navigate them in a very specific order to get all of the Chao in one go. And if you go into a wrong wormhole there, there is, like, some of them just has no, like, some of them like make it impossible for you to backtrack. So, like, if you just miss a Chao there, yeah, it's over and you have to restart the stage. Yeah, sometimes the audio at the end of the level can glitch and you get this, like, real loud applause. Nothing you can do about that.
Let's race.
Yeah, Mysticon 3. Pretty cool stage as well. Again, we are going to be seeing a bunch of ghosts here.
Yes.
And this stage has these, like, things, I don't know, like, where you're supposed to match two symbols. And then the door opens, but it's always the second symbol from the one that you started. So it's pretty much down to muscle memory. You can just not even look at the screen. Alright.
Alright.
Gonna do Sonic Boom here to skip a bit of platforming, and it also helps me to retain the speed. Okay, that ghost always hits me, and it's frankly better to be hit by that guy rather than trying to avoid him. Gonna do a little skip here, gonna jump down that spiral. Saves like 3 seconds or something. And that's like the thing with this game, is that because of how the stages are laid out, there are not many like actual skips where you can like... Normally, like, Sonic games are known to have like ridiculous skips that sometimes can skip like the entire stage. This game is nothing like that in that regard. There are like a few things you can do here and there, but you know, nothing too huge. So like if you can save like, I don't know, 7 seconds is a huge save in this game. And we're now in the final zone of this game, Eric Inferno. And we're gonna be using Tails again. Again, this zone has like a lot of vertical stuff going on, so Tails is most certainly useful. And of course, yet another mashing contraption. This game just loves that stuff, you know. Yeah, pretty interesting game. Like, if you've never played this game, I'd highly recommend giving it a go. I'm definitely biased because I grew up playing both Sonic Rivals 1 and 2, but I think this game went mostly unnoticed by a lot of, like, even some of, like, people who claim to love Sonic. They probably never played the game. And again, being a PSP exclusive, it's pretty understandable. Oh. Alright, going down this tube, please. Oh, that tube is very tricky to enter sometimes. Like, and you might be wondering, how hard can it be to just, you know, go down a hole like that? It's harder than it looks, I promise. Yeah, the next Chao is one of the trickiest, probably, or like one of the scariest. There we go. So they put that Chao on top of the two wooden boxes, and it's very easy to just go down that tube without grabbing the Chao, and you can also easily easily break both boxes without realizing that you need them, and if you're not Tails, there is no way to recover. It's a really silly decision by the game devs, but okay, hold on. There we go. And boom. One more level to go. And it's very interesting that the very last level that we're gonna be seeing has the only actual glitch in the game called fast cannon glitch. So in the previous level, you could see cannons, and these cannons can change angles and they can shoot me in two different directions. So let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna actually restart because I messed up at the beginning a little bit, and I really want to show off, like, it's the only glitch in the game. Like, of course I wanna get it. It's a frame perfect glitch, so it's a little tight. Oh, yeah, I didn't get it, but normally if you can shoot right before the cannon changes angle, and if you manage to do that successfully, you can be shot at a speed much higher than intended, and that can save a few seconds. But please grab the Chao. Okay, cool. Yeah, that Chao right there is probably the biggest reason why I'm using Tails here. You don't need to backtrack as much. Oh, come on. Yeah, the game is just really hungry for inputs today. Not sure what's going on. Alright, I missed that guy completely, and it's alright. I'm gonna fly up here and grab this guy. Then jump over the spit, grab the rocket, and I believe there is only one more Chao to grab. But I also need to complete the stage. Oh no, there are two more Chao, my bad. I lied. I missed the glitch again. So you can, like, the cannon glitch is really useful in two places here. And unfortunately I missed both glitches, but it's alright. Like, again, it's not a big deal. And we're gonna be seeing a little funny Easter egg from the devs here, hopefully. Oh, there we go. So, like, if you look at the bottom of the screen, like, in the bottom left corner, there is a cow, just casually flying in this fiery tornado. Really funny, really funny. But yeah, the time is gonna be coming up in just a little bit. This is yeah, I was waiting on that panel for too long. But yeah, time is gonna be coming up really soon. And time.
I really, really won!
And we got all of the Chao. So we are rewarded with this beautiful card of the Razor Gene from Sonic and the Secret Rings. We found all the Chao in free play, and then we're, of course, also rewarded with a card that reads Elise parenthesis child from Sonic 06. Um, yeah, thank you for having me. I'd like to give a few shout outs. Big shout out to Boog to the man who is a great runner of Sonic Rivals 1. And he act like I saw him run the game at a certain event, and uh, he just, inspired me to pick up this game. Um, I also run Sonic Rivals 1, by the way, and I have pretty much every single record in that game. But yeah, also a huge shout out to Alexis, who has a bunch of world records in this game in a lot of different categories. And, his runs were extremely useful. I watched his runs to learn this one. And finally, big shout out to Sonic speedrun community. It's a fantastic community full of extremely lovely people. Really, like, I met a lot of good people there, and a lot of good friends, and without their support I wouldn't have been here. So another, and probably the last thing I have to say is that if you found this run interesting, like, maybe like you thought to yourself, wow, this looks cool, I would be actually really glad to see you in the Sonic speedrunning Discord, because we're currently looking for runners to make this category like official, quote unquote, on the leaderboards. And we need 3 people for that. And that's really tough for a game that has only 14, I believe, runners in total, and pretty much 0 active runners at the moment. So yeah, if you found this interesting, I'll be glad to see you in the Discord. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for me. Thank you again. Thank you for having me.